Behold, today I bring you Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Now, if you remember, I did a review for this game a while ago, not too long, but a while ago, and I was hoping for a second one, and looks like my prayers were answered because we did get a second one. And if you didn't watch my first review or my first review of the game, I will say that if you did everything that's good about the first game, they continued on in the second game, which is awesome. And they did make it a bit easier. Now, this is a hardcore RPG, not like hardcore as in like once you die once it's over. There is hardcore modes like that, but it's more hardcore as in like the character, like you have to take it seriously. Like characters will judge you based on what you wear. If you steal stuff and you get caught, you'll be known as a thief, so people won't trust you and people won't like you. If you spec too much into like when I played a warrior character, when I had to do like sneaking missions for the story quest, I had a much rougher time because my character was terrible at sneaking, and vice versa. When I made a sneaking character, I had a much rougher time doing the fights because I would get dogged by like six warriors, and my guy would be like, "Ew." That luckily, once you learn how to master strike, that really helps out. I'll talk about that later in the gameplay. But yeah, this game is like it kind of like it's kind of like Shen. It's like I want to say like a Shenmue type game where like you just walk around, explore this virtual world. You talk to people. You can get information by just talking to them and seeing stuff. And you ask your characters literally ask like so many questions. Like, why do you do this? Why is that? What is this? What is that? And like you get a lot of information, and also like based off like I said before, like people will look at what you're wearing. So like if you're wearing like night clothes, like they'll be more timid, you'll be more intimidating. But if you're wearing scholar clothes, they'll be more trustworthy, and I think that's really cool. Also, a cool thing is that you have to make sure you have to pick your dialogue choices very careful, because if you tell somebody you're a warrior and then like you want to do a scouting mission, like you told me you're a warrior, I thought you were a warrior, you can't do scouting. Stuff like that really matters in this game. RPG choices really matters in this game, which is really nice. Yeah, it's a really fun game. I highly recommend it. I say if you're not a hardcore guy, maybe grab it on sale, because there were some frustrating moments in this game, especially where like I didn't know like what to do, or like the game would get bugged and glitch out, and it would fuck me over like so fucking bad. Uh, Also, the sneak missions, like it took some getting used to, but man, they were tough at first. Like I was a warrior on my first playthrough, so the sneak missions were literally hell for me. And there are multiple sneak missions, and there were also missions where like so I wouldn't want to drop my loot, so I'd be walking around with a shit ton of loot, and and doing a sneak mission was basically impossible, but I somehow did it. But yeah, this game I enjoyed it thoroughly. I thought it was a lot of fun. I give it a big two thumbs up. Um, I highly recommend it. I'll get onto the gameplay and the story, but before I get into that, if you like this stuff, if you like talking about games and whatnot, please consider subscribing to the channel. That would help me so much. So thank you so much. So let's get on to the gameplay. So the gameplay of the game is kind of like actually we'll get into the gameplay later. Let's get into the story. The story of the game it continues after the first game. You take the role of Henry of Skalitz, and he's a squire turned knight. The game starts off with you and your noble friend going on a mission to warn a lord, or trying not to warn a lord, but like try and secure his alliance, because it takes place during like a kind of like a civil war in Bohemia, where King Wenceslas and King and his cut and his uncle King Sigismund is they're pretty much beefing. Your job is to go secure the treaty with your noble brother to make sure these guys are on your side. But then stuff happens, and then you get stuck in this plot, and then it just becomes a whole bigger thing. And it's like it was a really cool game, and the game just goes from there and there, and gets bigger and bigger. And yeah, that's pretty much the story and how it starts and how it goes. And you pretty much on your way to find your dad's killer while trying to like secure your part of the hold, which is cool. I would highly recommend. I don't know if I explained it right, because I don't know. It's kind of an integral plot, but I hope that was a good enough foot to make you interested. Now let's get into the gameplay. The gameplay is kind of like the first game, which is like a first person, kind of like I guess the most what's it, it's not like Skyrim esque because like it's first person like a Elder Scrolls game, but like it's not like an Elder Scrolls game because like when you do the combat is completely different. If you'll notice when I fight people, they have like a little star on them, and that's like the where the red is like where they're gonna swing, and you kind of want to like when you fight in this game, you want to flick the analog stick. Like if you want to do a left swing, you have to flick the analog stick left. You gotta flick the analog stick left, and then press R1 to a left swing, and then you can do stuff like that. That's why some people didn't like the combat. It's very tough, but once you get into it, it's very rewarding, and it rewards you for doing combos and doing crazy stuff. But you don't. You can just throw all of that out of the window. Once you learn the Master Strike basically is whichever position your enemy is swinging from. If you counterattack from the opposite side, you will always get a perfect counterattack, and you'll get this cool animation, which even gives you some executions if they're low enough health. And this just turns combat into like I'm just gonna master strike everybody because as long as you do it right, your character, no matter what, he'll just like fly through and just do shit and make sure he gets that counterattack, and it feels really fucking good. And some people don't like using it because they think it makes the game too easy. I enjoy it because I feel like the game without it is fucking annoying, especially with high difficulty enemies that know how to use the fighting system, so they abuse it. And oh my, it's just so annoying to fight those guys. That's why I just Master Strike all fucking day. There's also archery, and they have guns. In this game, they have guns. So before they had crossbows, but now you actually have like a fucking hand cannon, which you can load up and just blast people. And it even doesn't matter how much armor they have. If they take a hit to the chest, they're done. So you can see online, people do some pretty funny stuff. But yeah, you can do some crazy stuff in this game, and it's a lot of fun. I enjoyed the game. There's some people who didn't like it because it was too much for them, but I understand because the game is really, really hardcore. I mean, to make potions, you literally have to mix the stuff, ground it up, set the timer, flip it over, put it in. Oh, don't do it too much, or it's gonna burn. Like, bro, I'm here to play a video game, not cook food. Like, what's going on here? But it just adds, but it just gives it more more fun and more realism. And I think this game's realism is pretty insane. Um, you also like history wise, you learn a lot. Like there's a lot of beautiful history in here. You learn a lot of old school European history, and I feel like that's really really cool. And like I always like looking at the past. You get to like see what ancient humans did, and yeah, as usual, they just get drunk and fuck each other up. Speaking of getting drunk and fucking each other up, um, you just go into town and like NPCs will be fighting. I think that's like one of the funniest things is that speaking of after all that the combat, speaking with the NPCs and just watching them and watching them do things, and they'll just start fighting to like some guy will talk about some girl, and he'll like that's my woman, and they'll just start scrapping or like hey you owe me money, we're here for the money, and then start beating some guy's ass. It's pretty cool, and it's annoying because like none of the guards break it up, but if you get involved, the guards all of a sudden care, so it's like. I think it would have been cooler to see somebody get arrested or like something else happen. But after the fight, just get up and just walk to the pub and just play. Also, there's also mini games. There's mini games. My favorite was dice. I spent hours playing dice. I fucking love the dice in this game. The dice, bro. I was play. I think I played more dice than the actual game. But yeah, the dice was a lot of fun. I think that was probably one of my favorite things. You can also the dice also has like its own little system where like there's different dies and some of the dice have like unique shit. Where like you have a lucky die, or you have like shitty die, or you have like math die, which like loves to do math. Like what the fuck? But yeah, it's like yeah, it was really cool. It was really a lot of fun, and this game. Yeah, I highly recommend it, especially if it's on sale. If it's on PlayStation Plus or a Game Pass, just try it. Just give it a try. If the first one's on there, give it a try. Maybe you'll like the first one, but Yeah, man, this game was super enjoyable. I enjoyed the first one. I enjoyed the second one. There's more DLC coming. I can't wait for the DLC. The romantic options were really cool too. There's also a lot of romance. Like, if you like romance, if you want to do some romance, you want to see some big Hungarian titties, get in here. Um, uh, yeah. That's all I got for this one. If you like it, like it. If you didn't like it, then send this to your enemies. Peace.